Silent Kid shocked the world, one song turned him into an overnight star. The cafeteria buzzed with laughter, chatter, and the scraping of trays, but in the farthest corner sat a boy few people noticed. His name was Ethan. Thin, pale, and often wearing the same worn-out hoodie, he was known in school as the Silent Kid. He rarely spoke, kept his eyes down, and never raised his hand in class. Some assumed he was shy, others thought he was just strange. No one imagined that behind his silence lived a storm of emotions he'd never dared to release. Ethan had grown up quietly. His mother worked double shifts at a diner, his father had walked out years ago, and their small apartment was filled with the hum of old radiators and the smell of reheated leftovers. Life was heavy, but Ethan had one secret escape: music. Every night, while the world outside slept, he would pull out his battered guitar and whisper songs into the dark. His voice was raw, trembling at first, but when he closed his eyes, something inside him soared. He wasn't invisible anymore. One afternoon, the school announced a talent show. The gym erupted with excitement, everyone wanted to perform. Dancers practiced in the hallways, comedians rehearsed jokes, and athletes signed up to show tricks. Ethan's name wasn't on the list. Why would it be? He had never sung in front of a soul. But then, fate intervened. A week before the show, a flyer slipped from the bulletin board and landed near Ethan's shoes. He picked it up. Last chance to sign up, midnight deadline, it read. For a long time, Ethan stood frozen, staring at the paper. His hands trembled as he imagined standing under those blinding lights, the crowd staring at him, his voice cracking. But then he thought about his mother, who worked tirelessly and always hummed the old songs she used to sing him to sleep. Maybe, just maybe, he could honor her. That night, with pounding heart and shaky fingers, Ethan signed his name. When the day arrived, the gym overflowed with students, parents, and teachers. The air pulsed with laughter and energy. Performers dazzled, cheerleaders flipped, drummers thundered, and a magician made coins vanish into thin air. Then, the host called, "Next up, Ethan Walker." A ripple of surprise ran through the crowd. "The Silent Kid," someone whispered. "Does he even talk?" Ethan walked to the stage, gripping his old guitar. The microphone stood like a mountain before him. His chest tightened, his knees wobbled, and for a moment he considered running. But then, in the front row, he spotted his mother, her tired face glowing with pride despite the circles under her eyes. She gave him a small nod, the kind that said, "I believe in you." He strummed the first chord, and the gym hushed. His voice cracked at the start, but then something miraculous happened. As he sang, his voice grew stronger. Warm, soulful, and aching with truth. The lyrics poured out like a confession, a story of loneliness, hope, and the quiet dreams of a boy who had never been heard. His pain and love intertwined, carried on every note. By the second verse, the room was still. Phones that had been recording for fun now trembled in the hands of students wiping their eyes. Teachers leaned forward, stunned. Some kids who had teased him sat frozen, guilt washing over them as his words pierced deeper than any lecture could. His mother's eyes filled with tears, her hands pressed over her mouth. When the final note faded, silence lingered. Then, an eruption. The gym exploded in cheers, whistles, and a standing ovation that shook the bleachers. Ethan stood stunned, blinking under the lights, as if waking from a dream. For the first time in his life, he wasn't invisible. He was seen. The video of his performance spread like wildfire. By morning, it had millions of views across social media. Headlines read: Silent Kid shocked the world, one song turned him into an overnight star. Reporters crowded his school, talent scouts called, and people from around the globe shared how his song gave them courage to face their own struggles. But what moved Ethan most weren't the fame or offers. It was the messages, people writing to say, "I felt alone too," or, "Your song saved me." He realized his voice wasn't just about him, it was a gift to lift others who felt unseen. Weeks later, he stood on a much bigger stage, this time in front of thousands. Lights blinded, cameras rolled, and his heart pounded just as before. But he remembered that small Jim, his mother's nod, and the courage it took to sing that first note. He smiled, strummed his guitar, and sang, not for fame, but for every soul who had ever felt invisible. Ethan's story became a reminder that the quietest among us often carry the loudest truths. Sometimes all it takes is a single moment of courage to change everything. And so, the silent kid taught the world a lesson: every voice matters. Even the ones we overlook. Especially those